For the fourth time today.
I know.
Fourth time this weekend.
Good late morning to everybody who's tuning in early.
Hey, it's hockey day.
And this is the third place game of the Oktoberfest tournament here in Lincoln as the Junior Mavericks take on the Lincoln Junior Stars. They were 10-2 winners last night against the KC Stars to put themselves in this third place game. Both of these teams were 2-1 in pool play.
You might notice a different environment we're in here today. We're playing at the Ice Box, the home of the senior Lincoln Stars. A very cold, icy rink here just down the street from Breslow Arena, where the Lincoln Cornhusker club team plays that we've had our first three games at. So a little bit darker environment, a little bit colder environment, a little bit more hockey environment.
Yes, for sure. This is old school environment right here.
It's kind of a barn atmosphere, nice wooden plank ceiling up above us and steel rafters and dark black and blue colors of the Lincoln Stars team.
Well, there may be others who know better than I do, but I've been told that this actually is an old barn that they used to use for the fair. And livestock actually came in here, which is why it has that sort of livestocky smell to it.
Right here in the old State Fairgrounds territory, which is being taken over by the University of Lincoln. They've got their track and field facility that's just built on the other side. Last year it was under construction.
Their soccer field is close by, and of course Bob Devaney Sports Center is right across the street, right across the parking lot.
The scorekeeper trying to alert the Mavericks to take the ice and do their warm-ups, even though we're ahead of schedule right now. I think they're trying to maintain their ahead of schedule time frame that they're on. Both teams 2-1. Omaha coming off a victory 2-0 against the Fremont Flyers yesterday. Was their last game. It was a very exciting game for both teams. Keeping our fingers crossed for Q, the goaltender for the Fremont Flyers that has been teammates with us in the past, who I've been told went to the hospital after that game for concussion protocol, and hoping that he's okay and that he's going to be taking the ice again very soon.
Here come the Junior Mavericks. Ready to go. We have not seen the white home sweaters. They are the road team again this afternoon. So we've seen the blacks.
Very excited about their away jerseys though, and their new cursive Omaha on the front of them.
Yeah, they do like those.
I haven't heard anybody complain about them. Everybody's loving the darks this year. Expecting a full lineup except for Charlie Patera again. Charlie, wish you were here with us. If you're watching, hope you are. Expecting to see the Beast, Easton newcomer, between the pipes. After Rosie finished strong with a shutout yesterday, the Beast has got some big shoes to fill, literally, with Rosie being a head taller than him, and figuratively, since he was performing at peak top of his gameplay yesterday, against the Fremont Flyers. So, Beast warming up here now, along with all of his other teammates. The championship game is set to be played at 3:45 today here at the Icebox Arena as well. The championship for the Oktoberfest has been determined to be the teams of Tri-City Storm and the Kansas City
Ice Hawks.
Yep. So we fell to the Tri-City Storm and we beat the Kansas City Ice Hawks, but with a goal differential that put the Omaha Junior Mavericks in the third place game. Ice Hawks must have had some runaway games that gave them more goals and less goals against that put them in that championship spot. So even though there's probably, because I think Tri-City had a loss as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they were shut out 3-0 by Lincoln, as it turns out.
So that put four teams at a 2-1 final standing, and it all came down to goal differential between those 4 teams, and that's why Omaha is facing Lincoln here in the 3rd place game.
Well, we expect it to be a pretty good game. As we noted, Lincoln coming off a 10-2 victory. They've got some pretty good players added to their roster this year. A few familiar faces that we've seen, and some of these guys have played with. Xavier Reed, Emmett Palin was on the Pee Wee White team last year. Ty Whistler, who played with a lot of these guys in the summertime. So
another one of those friendly locals that these are good games, very competitive games still, but almost like a friendly, because we know it's fun. It's good to know the boys, and sometimes, most of the time, I'd say it keeps it clean but aggressive, right? Everybody wants to be the better player amongst friends, and nobody wants to hurt their friends. So we end up in a position where these are really fun, competitive games, and that's the way hockey should be played, especially at a 14 and 13-year-old level. So hoping to see the same level of play that we've been seeing from the Omaha Mavericks all weekend.
Lincoln's got a fairly good-sized team. Their players are good size for 13 and 14-year-olds. The Junior Mavericks are sort of a mid-range team that way. They got some big guys. They got some smaller guys, too. But the key is skating.
Buzzer sounds to mark the end of warm-ups. A fresh 12 minutes will go on the clock for the first period to begin here. Once the pucks are picked up, the boys will collect at their benches and get their final pep talks and get out their war cries.
On a game like this, Matt, scoring first is a key. Good start is a good way to settle into your game and to make the other team try to catch up. Junior Mavericks scoring first for, I'm trying to remember, did they score first against the KC Stars or KC Ice Hawks? Is that a first goal situation?
No, both of our first games we were
first 2 games.
Yep.
And it wasn't until yesterday's game that they were able to get the first goal of the game. So I'm sure that's one of the points of emphasis. A good start hopefully leads to a good outcome.
Yeah, it's we mentioned it yesterday. It's so much easier to keep a lead than to come from behind. Mm-hmm. Mavericks are famous for coming from behind and pulling off victories in a game, but coach really focused on trying to break that. So we'll see what happens here in the 3rd place game. We're about to drop the puck for here. We're 3 minutes ahead of schedule, so rink managers are loving this. Looks like the boss, Boston Gas, Wyatt Ecke out on defense. Ike. I apologize. Ike. Vinny Heater, Roman Stonebreaker, Braden Sturba on offense. The Beast, Easton newcomer between the pipes. Face-off win goes to the Mavs. Quickly pass it ahead to Sturba. Sturba dump and chase. Stonebreaker gonna hustle. Heater with some shoulder-to-shoulder contact right behind the net. Keeps the puck in the zone. Stonebreaker trying to pull it off the short wall, getting in the body. Ike's gonna come in to help from the blue line. Feeds it in deep. Sturba with a shot. That one goes wide and around the back. The boss keeps it in at the blue line. Fires it towards the net. Deflected! Vinny Heater! Deflection from the boss. Puts the first goal into the back of the net with less than 30 seconds into the game.
Well, that's how you draw it up, right? A perfect position for Vinny Heater right in front of the net. Was able to unmolestedly get his stick on that puck, and a good shot by Gas. That was a tippable shot and a goal.
The puck drops again. This time Lincoln got the face-off. Tried to charge through the neutral zone. Got turned over before they could break the blue line. Taz. T-squared. Jack Davis out there. Loose puck in the slot. Comes back out of the point. The Bear fires just wide. Bounces out in front, and the goalie dives on it and freezes. Big hit after the whistle on Jack Davis. Jack smiling and nodding and brushing it off, getting under their skin.
Yeah, good chance there for Taz on a feed from T-Squared. Nearly pounded that one in for a 2-0 lead.
Nice pressure by the Omaha Mavericks. 11:05 left in the first, 1-0. Jack Davis takes the draw. Lincoln gets the win. They circle behind their own, turned over. T-Squared trying to get it out of a lot of sticks and skates. Lincoln pops out with it, gaining speed through the neutral zone, breaks into offense, loses control into the corner. Keeney trying to defend. Lincoln feeds the middle, goes all the way back to the blue line. Blue line shot. Big trapper save by the Beast. Line change for the Omaha Mavericks. Out comes Will Allers, Jacob Courtright.
And that's
Paxton Schneider on offense. William Fleming. George Nandor on defense. Omaha wins the draw. Nice poke up ahead to Courtright. Courtright flicks it in deep. Paxton on the chase. Allers going to get to the corner, winging around to Nandor. Nandor lobs it towards the net. That one got stopped. Lincoln pops it out of their zone. Loose into the neutral zone. Fleming picks it up, circling in his own territory. He's got 2 forecheckers from Lincoln. Gets it off in barely a nick of time back out to the neutral zone. Lincoln will pick it up. Pass it through the neutral zone. A dump and chase from Lincoln, but Omaha's there to pick it up first. Nandor behind his own. Pass ahead. Misguided. Gets out to the blue line. Lincoln fires it right into the referee. Stalls it out for Nandor to pick up. Resets behind his own net. Fires through the middle. One touch pass from Allers over to Pax. Couldn't quite keep it in. Intercepted by Lincoln. They keep it in the zone. Fleming, pop fly into the neutral zone. A soft touch. Will it be an icing? Yes, it will. Stops the clock at 9:44 left in the first period. 1-0, your Mavs in the lead. Line change for the defense. Line change for the entire Mavs. Sturba, Stonebreaker, Heater out there on offense. Wyatt Ike and the boss on defense. Kind of a neutral face-off win. Puck comes up the short wall. Sturba helps it out. Heater picks it up. Lots of attackers, but gains his own. Loses control slightly in some skates, and then batted out of the slot. Lincoln, stick handling it through their own zone. Tries to sauce pass it through the neutral zone. Out of control. Ike pushes it back the other way. We'll get a little back and forth in the neutral zone. And then Ike will break into offensive territory. Getting pinched along the short wall, taking on 3 guys almost himself. A pop fly out to the blue line. Omaha keeps it in. Lincoln trying to get it out of the zone. Here comes Sturba, pops it in deep, looking for maybe a change, but then he's just going to stay on. Heater's going to chase. Sturba pinches in the corner. Chasing behind the net. Lincoln getting control of the puck, rings it around the short wall. Ike cross ice to the boss. Can Boss keep it in? No. Boss fires it backwards. That one's going to be offsides. Mavericks couldn't clear out in time. Nice play stoppage on that one. 8:45 left in the first period. 1-0. Mavericks lead. Neutral zone face-off. Out comes some fresh legs. Taz, Stonebreaker,
and T-Squared.
T-Squared on the far wing. Keeney and the Bear out on defense. A jumbled face-off win. T-Squared gets the shot deflected just wide of the net. Lincoln on the short wall, picked off by T-Square, but he couldn't keep it in the zone. Comes back for a reset. The Bear sauces it, tries to find Stonebreaker, couldn't quite get in. Lincoln saves themselves from having an offside. Taz tries to tie up his man at the red line, tripped up in skates, no penalty called. Loose puck comes down back into Lincoln territory. Lincoln rings it around behind their own net. Keeney will keep it in at the blue line. Stonebreaker still on the attack and forecheck deep in Lincoln territory. T-Squared off the short wall. Loved the first shot. Lots of feet. Stonebreaker picks up the loose puck and fires it into the back of the net. T-Squared to Stonebreaker gets the second goal of the game with 7:58 left in the first period.
Sometimes on those flub shots, it almost freezes the goaltender a little bit. And I think that helped Stoney because he had that goaltender down and kind of stopped and was able to shove that one in short side. Good play. And the Mavericks up 2-0 here early in this first period.
Courtright, Jack Davis, Paxton Schneider on offense, Fleming and Nandor on defense.
We got our first penalty coming up against the Mavericks.
Pass, Nandor intercepts and then Floats it out of the zone, but the penalty's coming up on the Omaha Mavericks.
Yeah, it's going to be roughing against Jack Davis. He came in high on that player.
Jack's one to known to flap his wings when he's coming in hot. And he gets called for some elbows more than others. Jack getting a little bit of a talk to. Do you understand why you got the penalty? Yeah, I meant to throw an elbow into his cranium. Here comes a face-off in Omaha territory. Short-handed unit is Allers and Vinny Heater on offense. Fleming and Wyatt Ike on defense. Puck rings around behind the net. Heater picks it up on the short wall. Lots of defenders on his door, but he's going to get it all the way through the neutral zone before it's turned over, and Lincoln starts coming back the other way. Allers and Heater. Nice forecheck in the neutral zone. Here comes Ike to help. He's going to gain momentum into the offensive territory. Lots of defenders forced to the boards, rings it back in deep. Heater on the forecheck, even though short-handed. A lot of guys with him, a lot of defenders on him, but he's still keeping the puck stalled out deep in Lincoln territory. Finally, Lincoln gets control. They're going to dump and ice this one, even though they're on the power play.
Yeah, that was not a smart play.
45 seconds left in the penalty for Omaha. That'll bring a face-off down to Lincoln territory. The new short-handed unit is Wyatt Tremaine and Roman Stonebreaker. Stoney's out there. Keeney and the Bear on defense. Face-off in Lincoln territory. Puck drops. Lincoln face-off win. Tangled up quickly. Keeney trying to tie it up at the blue line to keep it in. A battle at the blue line here. Keeney can't quite get the third try. Comes out to the neutral zone, tapped off of Omaha's tape and then bobbles into Omaha territory. Keeney gets bodied in the corner. A shot towards the net, stopped by Bear, a dangerous stop in front. The Bear fires one from his own zone all the way down on goal. No icing. Lincoln picks it up, turnover in front of the net, battling. That's Wyatt Tremaine, almost created a turnover in a shot attempt on a short-handed. 2 seconds tick off the power play here. We're full strength as Wyatt still in front. Passes one through the crease. Lincoln able to tap it out of the zone. That one's going to go all the way down for an ice. Wow, what a short-handed killing attack by the Omaha Mavericks for that penalty.
It started on the first shift with Vinny Heater in that penalty kill, really keeping things hemmed into their zone. And then Tremaine picked up the mantle there and just kept at it. And boy, he really gave them all sorts of fits.
Jack Davis, T-squared, Taz on offense. Wyatt Ike and who I got over the boss on defense. Yep. Puck goes behind the net quickly after the face-off drop. Lincoln picks it up, tries to sauce it out. Can't get it past the boss. Bouncing shot just goes wide of the net. Still bouncing over to the short wall. T-squared pushes it behind for Jack Davis. Jack, sauce pass out to Boss, cross ice. That one comes out of the zone. Forces Ike to shake and bake on the red line and regain offense control again. They put it in deep, and now four checkers for Omaha trying to keep it in. Comes around the board to Boss. Boss returns the favor, puts it back in behind the net. T-square's first to get there in the corner. Lots of attackers. There's Jack Davis. Pops out of the corner on Lincoln's tape. Lincoln making their way through the neutral zone. Dump and chase. Can the Boss get there first? He gets pinched. Jack Davis there to help, trying to ring it up. Boss can't get it out. Ike picks it up as it comes to the slot. The gentle pass ahead to T-squared. Gets batted off of his tape. Stalls out at the blue line. Lincoln regains control and shovels it back in deep. The Boss picks it up behind, rings it around the short wall, comes all the way out of the zone. That one might be an icing if he doesn't touch it, and he does! No icing. Thank you, Lincoln. They do a quick little drop pass in their own zone as they try and gain speed out of their own territory. That's happening. Gain speed through the neutral zone. Forced to the boards, a little bit physical, gets a shot and scores! Lincoln, one man, coast to coast. We've heard about some dangerous players from the Lincoln Stars, and there's one of them. Zhang looks like his name, number 68. He picked that puck up in his own zone, got bullied the whole way through the neutral zone, and maintained for a rifling sniper shot past the beast.
Well, he's a guy they'll have to keep an eye on, try to slow him down, get a stick on puck. Make sure he doesn't get a chance to uncork that shot again.
No kidding. 4:36 left in the first period. 2-1 now, Mavericks in the lead. Face-off goes back to Lincoln. They get pinched at the neutral zone. Omaha bullying their way in. Allers couldn't quite get to the loose puck in the slot. Lincoln get it out of the zone. Fleming picks it up at the red line, fires it right back in. Allers on the forecheck. Lincoln fires it around behind the net. Nandor there to pinch from the top of the circle. Shot got deflected back to the short wall. Heater uses the body, creates the turnover. Feeding the middle, almost caught Allers, bounces over his tape. Allers back to Fleming. Fleming fires off some players back to the corner. Allers in the corner, back to Fleming, a repeat. Fires! Big goalie save. Lincoln picks it up, rings it around their own corner behind. Nandor approaches off the blue line, circling behind the Lincoln net, tries to feed the middle, nothing but Lincoln players, and they're going to do the icing to kill some time and save their defensive. And I'm gassed as well. So 3:55 left in the first period. 2-1, Mavericks maintaining a lead. And now some more time on attack by this Omaha Maverick team. Stoney out there on the face-off drop this time with Courtwright and Paxton Schneider. Keeney and the Bear out on defense. Lincoln takes the face-off drop in their own territory. Quickly turned over by Keeney at the red line, loose into Omaha's corner. Nice use of his hips. Keeney protect and gain control of the puck. Comes around the corner to Courtwright on the short wall. Lincoln picks it up at the blue line. A soft shot can't get to the net. Courtwright comes out with it, crosses the blue line, tries to bounce it off the boards to Stoney. Stoney gets it in the zone. Lincoln with a bouncing puck at the top of their own circle is able to get it out of their zone. They pass it to the middle, turned it over. Bear passes it out. Courtwright, can he muscle him off? No, a little help from Bear, and in comes Ike. Create a little bit of a turnover. Can't get it out of their zone, though. Lincoln, the drop pass turned over by T-Square. T-Square moving his feet. He's got a breakaway. Top of the circle, 1-on-0, and the goalie saves it. T-Square gets his own rebound in the corner. Still moving his feet. Brings it around the wall. Taz on the other side. Boss can't keep it in. That one's offsides. Good job by T-Square to just move his feet at his own blue line and create his own breakaway there.
You can sense a little energy from Lincoln now after scoring that first goal. They're pressing a little bit harder, throwing their bodies around a little bit more. The Mavericks need to find a way to push back.
2:51 left in the first period. 2-1, your Mavs are in the lead. Omaha trying to figure out the line. We've seen different line pairings here at this game. The coach is trying to mix match a little bit to figure out who's going to mesh for the season the best. Taz is out there now. It's like Wyatt Tremaine, Vinny Heater. Stirred up at the blue line a little bit. Taz hustles out to the red line to get it. Tries to feed it back towards offensive direction. Up comes Boss to help. A little back and forth in the neutral zone here. Vinny tried to body a man. Little help from Boss. Keeps it back on Vinny's team. Fires, and that one got deflected way up into the netting. And there's a lucky fan as the puck left the ice playing surface here. Stopping the clock at 2:24 now left in the first. And fresh legs will come onto the ice. Oh, no. We'll get partially fresh legs. Heater's staying out there. Jack Davis, Braden Sturba. Defensive change will be Nandor and Fleming. Neutral face-off win, but it turned over at the blue line here. Fleming fires just wide. Puck off the backside of the net. Sturba tries to feed the middle. Looks like it's on the side of the net. Quickly rung around the boards. Over to Nandor. Nandor, top of the circle. Feed in the middle. Heater. Bouncing shot just deflected wide of the net. Two Omaha players. Sturbs brings it around to Nandor. Nandor feeds it towards the middle. Shot. Almost. Big save. Loose puck. Many people diving on it. It's still free. Puck goes back behind. Vinny Heater comes out, tries to feed the middle, goes all the way across ice. Nandor on the short wall, tangled up in the ref for a moment, then dumps it in deep.
Defenseman without a stick.
Davis tries to get it. Sturba got tripped up. Puck comes out to Fleming. Fleming fires just wide of the net. This one's going to ring all the way around to Nandor again. He's going to give it a gentle tap into the corner. Sturba trying to get it back out to Nandor, just out of reach. That one comes out of the neutral zone. Fleming and the Mavericks regroup. Pop fly into the neutral zone. A nice job up to Jack Davis. 3-on-2, just off sides. Jack Davis couldn't quite cross as quick as Vinny Heater did, and that'll stop the play with 1:13 left in the first period. 2-1, Mavs in the lead. Out comes Will Allers. Paxton Schneider, Jacob Courtwright on offense with Keeney and the Bear on defense. A quick Omaha win. They fire it in, but Lincoln returns the favor and sends it back to the Bear in the neutral zone. Bear, stick handling, board pass, gets it in. Allers trying to muscle his man off the puck, but Lincoln picks it up. Board pass out of the zone, right past his tape. Comes out to Keeney. Keeney. Board pass trying to move the puck ahead. We got a little bit of ping pong going on here on the blue line with both teams. Now Lincoln's finally going to skate it in. Pick it up at the short wall. Not much of an attack here. He lost soft loft towards the net. Omaha clears the slot before a rebound attempt occurred. We've got probably a high stick roughing going on there. It's going to be the Bear going to the box for a roughing call. I think it was an aggressive corner battle with a man that was slightly smaller than the Bear, so I didn't quite catch it, but
I didn't see it either.
Not surprising. Bear plays aggressive, and he is a bigger kid, so it's easy to get those roughing calls when you've got the size advantage.
Big guy, small guy. The big guy's not going to get the benefit of the doubt.
Another penalty kill for the Omaha Mavericks. Second one of the game. 31 seconds left in the first period. Omaha wins the draw, quickly pokes it out of the zone. Lincoln resets in the neutral zone. Cross ice pass to the middle. Stick handles deep in. Ike going to go there for the corner battle. Lincoln with the speed to get it. Fleming is going to give him a little bit of a challenge in the corner. Fleming pokes it back. Stonebreaker, can he help get it out of the zone? They can't. Lincoln fires, picked up quickly by Ike. Ike to the short wall. Lincoln gets it. The feed to the middle. Nobody's there. There's the horn to end the first period. 2-1. Mavericks maintaining a one-goal lead. They're going to start the second period shorthanded. The only penalties in the game have been on Omaha Mavericks. 2 penalties against the Omaha Mavericks. First one we saw, really good. Much different than what we've seen in the past games from the Omaha Mavericks. This shorthanded team was on the attack almost that whole time of the penalty.
Yeah.
Not so much in the first 30 seconds of this penalty that we saw here, but also maybe one soft shot on goal. So
right.
Not negative, but better than what we've seen in the past on the shorthanded special teams unit.
Yeah, we'll have 59 seconds still to kill on Bears penalty when we start the second period. And again, getting back to the things that have worked for us, and that is putting pressure on their defense and keeping them pinned into their own end.
Well, we've seen the talent that Lincoln has on this goal that they scored, so definitely no time to let your guard down. Plenty of game left and a very tight score. We've always said it, Dave. Next goal's a big one.
Yeah.
For either team. You either tie it or you go up 2. Ike, Stonebreaker. It's like, is that Taz out there on the face-off?
That's Wyatt Tremaine.
That's Wyatt Tremaine on the face-off draw. Ike will hustle back to a loose puck off the face-off. Try and feed it up the middle, gets it past the tape. Lincoln turns it over and feeds it back in deep. Fleming's going to be the one to pick it up in his own corner. Lots of attackers. He rings it around the boards and hard enough to get out of the zone. Lincoln forced to regroup in their own territory. Forward pass onto the red line. Lincoln, nice sauce. Offsides. Stumbled up that odd man charge that Lincoln was having. So lucky Mavs as another 30 seconds tick off the penalty. And we get through the first 30 seconds of the second period.
Yeah, when you're killing penalties, boy, and the other team goes offside, that's a gift right there.
Allers now out there with Heater, it looks like. Face-off win back to Lincoln. Lincoln fires it in deep. Almost looked like an icing, but it wasn't. Nandor changes directions behind, tries to get out of the zone. Lincoln picks it up, charges to the middle, feeds back to the blue line, toe drag, fire, score. Lincoln ties it up. That's that next one being a big one that we talked about. Lincoln just leveled the playing field on the power play.
Well, we had forwards out by the defense, but they both kind of did a flyby and didn't get anything on that puck to be able to poke it away.
That's that dangerous defense that they have there with those players on the Lincoln team. So we're now 2-2, tied up with 11-12 left in the second period. That goal will put both teams even strength 5-on-5 hockey. Sturba, Heater, Allers out there on offense. Ike charges through off the faceoff when he's out there with Boston Gas. Mavs gain territory. Lincoln bats it hard around the boards. Boss keeps it from coming out, feeds it back in deep. Sturba on the forecheck, but Lincoln fires it around the short wall again. Nice pinch by Ike. Ike battling two to keep it in. Lincoln goes centering pass. Sauce to get it out of the zone. They do, but they stall out in the neutral zone. Ike comes in to slow it down there. Get it going back the other direction. Lincoln picks it up, resets in their own zone. Side-to-side pass, centering pass, one touch back to the wall. Heater trying to jam it up the wall there and get it in the other direction, momentum, but can't. Lincoln fires it back the other way. The boss, sauce up to Sturba. Sturba tries to center it, intercepted by Lincoln. Lincoln stick handling into the zone, fires just wide, a dangerous high wrist shot. Falls out on the neutral zone a little or at the short wall, some back and forth there. Boston pitchforks it. That one's going to make it out of the zone. A little bit of a puck race. Heater ending up with it, trying to bully his way into territory. He does. Comes out, feeds the middle. Sturba, shot and score! Vinny Heater doing the muscling up the short wall. Sturba out of sight, out of mind in the slot. Vinny Heater saw him, feeds him just in time, and he puts it on the top shelf right where Grandma hides the peanut butter.
You know what? The key to that too, Vinny never stopped moving his feet. He had impediments in his way. He kept his feet moving, was able to play through the man, and able to get off a great pass in Sturba with a terrific finish.
3-2, Mavs go up once again on this game. T-squared. Stonebreaker and Taz out there. Stonebreaker gets his own face-off draw, charging quickly into offensive territory behind the goal line. Off of the goalie, loose puck in the crease gets batted, and that one comes out of the zone. Keeney cross ice to the Bear. Bear jumbles it a little bit, goes for the board pass up to T-squared. T-squared can't stick handle past a defender. Lincoln moves it ahead. Plenty of defensemen back. Keeney uses his legs to block a shot. Lincoln bats it back in deep. Stonebreaker fires it hard along the boards, hoping for T-square to get there first. He does, bobbles it out to Taz. Taz kicks it up to his tape. He's outnumbered by defense, gets pinched to the wall, trying to stay with it though. Lincoln will turn it over, ring it around to the other side. The Bear comes in to play it. He'll play it back in deep. Taz is going to go back to work in the corner. He's going to try and ring it around the boards, but he can't. Loses control. T-square comes in behind to help, tries to feed the middle. Nothing but Lincoln players there. Lincoln will start skating it out of their own zone. The pass to the middle. Lots of Omaha defense in the way. The touch up to T-square. T-square's now got court right. 3-on-1. A shot from T-square to the top of the circle. Stonebreaker picks it up, fires it again. Big glove save by Lincoln, and that freezes the play at 8:34 left in the second. 3-2. Mavs still maintaining a lead.
Good odd man rush there off that neutral zone turnover.
I don't think he realized he had a 3-on-1.
I don't think he did either. I think he kind of had the defenseman was sort of blocking his view and not realizing he had two teammates there with him.
Face-off drop, kind of a neutral win here. Schneider on the forecheck, trying to get it from a Lincoln player as he circles behind his own net. And a nice pass ahead by Lincoln, a 3-on-2 breakaway, a hard pass just out of reach, gives a nice bounce, a pop towards the net, and the Beast with a big save. Schneider picks it up along the boards. Here comes a big pop fly, court right in a puck race out front. The dot fires just high of the net.
The thing was rolling on him.
It knuckled and went high on him. Lincoln picks up the loose puck, tries to pass it through the neutral zone. T-squared picks up the loose one. Oh, that's Nandor. Nandor gets it turned over at the top of the circle, though. A loose puck by Lincoln, now creating a puck chase back to Fleming. Fleming fires it off the short wall, brings it back into the neutral zone. Lincoln in control, stick handling, cross-ice pass, a one-touch that gets disrupted by Vinny Heater. Lost footing by Fleming. Lincoln will pick it up behind Omaha's net. Nandor comes in to one touch. Lincoln intercepts, send it back the other way. Another pitchfork out of the zone to right on Heater's tape. Heater trying to get around one, using his body nicely, picks the loose puck up in the corner, circles behind the net, gets shouldered, puck stalls out behind, Sturba trying to poke it in from behind, and that one got batted back. Ike now at the blue line, he's got a minute, fires, deflected and goes wide. Heater picks up their loose puck behind, tries to put it in front, loose puck through the crease. Allers pitchforks it back to Ike. Ike, top of the circle, feed, oh, just wide of the net. Here comes the penalty.
It'll be the first power play of the game for the Junior Mavericks. And that off a good hard work by Heater, by Sturba and Allers.
Stops the play at 6:51 left in the second period, forcing Lincoln to be on their heels and make a mistake by drawing a penalty. Great job on the attack. Oh, a holding was the call.
I think so.
Okay.
Oh, cross-checking, sorry.
Oh, cross-check.
Referee must have just been massaging his own wrist or something like that from too many whistles.
It's aggressive play, even for the refs here. Fleming back on D with the bear. Stonebreaker, Allers, and Jack Davis. Jack back to Bear. Bear fires. Oh, just off a player. It looked like maybe the goalie's mask. Stonebreaker picks it up in the opposite corner, tries to poke it back to Fleming. Fleming poking it ahead. Stonebreaker using his feet. Lots of Lincoln pressure there. Nice backhand for Fleming. There's Jack. Fires one across the bridge of their nose. Goes to the opposite corner. Rung around the corner. Behind the net's Jack Davis. Jack circles out in front. Fires, hits Fleming. Fires off the goalie. Loose puck in front. Goalie lost his mask. I think that one hit him right in the high chest. And he laid on his face as his mask fell off. Goalie or referee luckily stopped that one quickly before there was any injury. 6:09 left in the second.
Tell you what, you had Fleming right where you wanted him to. Top of the face-off circles, untouched, ready to rip one, and goalie made the save.
He was going for that top right corner, and goalie stood up tall and took it in the chest. Wyatt Tremaine, Vinny Heater, Paxton Schneider on the power play here. We got 45 seconds left. Mavericks feed through the middle, taught some feet, bounces over Keeney's tape and comes out of the zone. Keeney. Oh, a flubbed backhander. Allers is going to come back. A turnover from Lincoln. Keeney quickly puts out that fire. Pushes it ahead to Schneider. Schneider gains the zone. Tries to sauce to the middle. Lincoln disrupts and fires it back into the neutral zone. Keeney forced to hustle back. Keeney's got an attacker. The backhanded drop pass to Schneider. Lincoln gets there somewhat first, but Paxton takes it off his tape. Long pass.
Oh.
Couldn't find Vinny Heater. That one, no. Must have touched it somewhere. No icing. Comes Tremaine. Tremaine trying to feed the middle. Lots of Lincoln sticks and feet in the way. That one got batted
Back
to
to
the
5
short
on 5.
wall.
Look out, Abrams.
Keeney doesn't know the man came out of the box. Keeney takes the zone, circling, pushed to the short wall, gets bodied off the puck. Lincoln rings it back behind their own net. Missed pickup on the short wall, but they bounce it off the boards to get it out. Heater resetting on the red line, gets it up to T-squared. T-squared tangles with a player, loses his stick, allows Lincoln to go cross ice and get it out of the zone again. Sturba returns the favor.
Just hadn't cleared the zone.
That one's going to be an offside, stopping the play at 4:47 left in the second period. 3-2, your Mavs still in this lead. Refs decide to make this a center ice face-off with Allers, Taz, and T-squared out there on offense. Nandor and the boss on defense. Face-off drop, kind of a neutral win that Lincoln's able to come out with. Lincoln, cross ice again, one-on-one. Lincoln shot well wide of the net. Ike, first one on the short wall. Tried to push it ahead, intercepted by Lincoln. Shot from the blue line, deflected to the opposite corner. Lincoln picks it up again first, back to the blue line. They just keep it in deep. Tries to bully it off the short wall, can't get there. Allers coming in to help. Lincoln doing a good job of keeping it in deep. Ike now forced to play the puck behind his own net, changes direction to avoid defender. Tries to do the soft pass off the wall as T-square's breaking out, but Lincoln keeps it in. Lincoln from the slot, a shot,
Penalty
just
coming
wide, arms up for a penalty. believe this is going to be on Omaha. Lincoln, another shot. Big save by the Beast. Finally, Omaha touches up, and that stops the play with 3:53 left in the second period. Have you seen a hand gesture yet? This one's coming on Allers. Allers going to the sin bin. Ref telling him it looks like a trip or a slash, probably.
Maybe a hook even. Tripping.
Tripping is
if I can read lips, yep, I was right. Tripping.
Puck drops. Mavs on their penalty kill. A shot from the blue line, and the Lincoln Stars tied up. Zhang, the player. He's the one that scored their other sniper goal. This is that player to watch. He sits on the blue line, and he's got a rifle of a shot. So Lincoln ties it up quickly right on this power play. I believe the other short goal they had was a power play as well. 2 of their 3 goals have been power play goals, so we got to watch putting guys in the box anymore.
Well, and again, that's a player, Zhang, who's got to get extra attention. There's just no question about it. You've got to get out in his face and not give him uncontested shots, because clearly he can pick his corner, and he's done it twice so far.
Incidental tripping there that wasn't called that the Lincoln coaches were looking for. Lincoln gains territory, breaking to the middle, a soft shot, Beast with the save, and easily fired out of the zone, forcing Lincoln to chase. A foot race. Heater on the forecheck, forces a bad pass. Sturbs comes in to help to keep the puck in deep into Lincoln territory. Lincoln from behind their own. Nice job of stirring it up. Yes, he keeps it in. Wow. That looked questionable. Fleming saves it at the blue line. Lincoln still trying to get it out of their own zone. They're in possession. Loses control, but it comes out to the neutral zone. A soft touch back in, and that one's offsides for the OMA Mavericks. 2:56 left in the second period. 3-3 now the score of this game. The fresh legs coming out. Stonebreaker, Courtright, Schneider on defense. Keeney and the Bear on defense. Neutral face-off here towards Lincoln territory. Puck drop. Neutral win. Lincoln picks up the forward momentum. Courtright picks it up as it comes back the other way. Outnumbered by defense. Tries to get it in deep. Loses control. Lincoln will take over. Circles behind their own net. Loses control of the puck. The Bear fires one just over the shoulder, but wide of the net. Keeney keeps it back in deep, forcing Schneider to forecheck and gain control. Great job of using the body. Here comes Stonebreaker back to Keeney. Keeney fires a nice wrister. That's a good goalie save. Courtright feeding it back to the Bear. Bear can't keep it in, and that one comes loose and wild all the way down into Mavericks territory for an icing. 2:14 left in the second period. 3-3 still the score of your Maverick hockey game. The final third place game of the Oktoberfest tournament. Wyatt Tremaine, T-squared, and Taz on offense. The Boss and Wyatt Ike on defense. Boss charges ahead off the face-off drop. T-square will bully his man in the corner. Tried to feed it out to the middle. Loose puck in the slot. Nice job by Tremaine to try and put it on net. He'll get another chance. Loose puck out to the Boss. Boss fires off of the players behind. Trickles back into the goalie's glove. He has to make 2 shots at it, but he's able to freeze it and stop the clock at 1:54 now left in the second period.
Good chances, Matt. It just seemed like everybody had it on their backhand. Nobody could get it to the forehand, and so the shots were probably not the strongest ones we wanted, but good pressure by that line, the T line. Tremaine, Trujillo, and Tesnalodek.
Ike does a good job of firing it in off the wall, off the face-off drop, keeping it in deep. 2 Mavs trying to keep it in. From behind, the feed to the middle. T-square got the shot. That one got saved. Pushed behind the net. Lincoln trying to maintain control behind their own. Nice pinch by the Mavs. Taz tries to fire one from the blue line. It gets deflected by a player, and here Lincoln's on a one-on-one with tons of defenders for the Mavs. A shot on goal. Beast didn't get all of it, but he was able to make the save and the freeze to stop the play with 1:19 left in the second. Fresh legs come out as that line was on the attack almost the whole time they were on the ice here. Sturba, Allers, Heater on offense. like Nandor and Fleming on defense. A poke ahead from Allers comes back to Lincoln D. A shot just wide of the net. Fleming poking it ahead to Heater. Heater, lots of defense around him, gets past the red line. He'll dump and chase. Puck bounces out off of the goalie stick. Push back behind the net. Mavericks change direction. Heater bodies his man shoulder to shoulder in the corner, but Lincoln picks it up and gets it out of the zone. Goodness. No call on the play. Mavericks turn it over in the neutral zone. Sturba.
Referee behind the play saw it.
There's a penalty coming on Lincoln here. There's a big, I thought it was a tripping, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're going to call him for tripping. He was holding on to Vinny's leg.
He was retaliating on Vinny's hit, was what it looked like. Vinny put the shoulder on him to prevent the puck from being carried out of the zone. The puck kind of went free, and this kid was retaliating Vinny's clean shoulder-to-shoulder hit. So Mavericks get the power play here. We'll get a face-off in offensive territory with only 44 seconds left in the second period. Wyatt Tremaine on the face-off drop. Jack Davis. Abram Keeney. And bobbling puck back behind. Zeng will pick it up for Lincoln. Circling fast out of his zone. Outnumbered by defense, but's got momentum. Shot, big save by the Beast. Goes to the corner. Comes back up to a short-handed defense. Bobbling the shot on the short wall. Allers, nice pass up to Wyatt. Wyatt can't quite get there. Tremaine, back to Keeney. Keeney goes cross ice, picked up by Lincoln. Lincoln gains territory, a long shot. Easily stick to the corner by Beast. A nice pop fly out to Jack Davis. Jack Davis backhands it up to Tremaine. Tremaine, stick handling, shot just wide of the net, then takes a big hit after his shot. That will end the period. Tremaine getting up slowly after he got put on his keister after getting that shot off by a man that was about a head or more taller than him. Holding his leg a little bit there, might have come down on his side. 3-3. The score of this game. Wyatt Tremaine struggling to get off the ice here as he holding his groin. Needs to get to the bench. He's hobbled over right behind his team, getting a pep talk there at the bench. Not sure any of the coaches are seeing him. Nice strong finish by Tremaine there, but boy, he took a big shoulder from a bigger guy right after he executed the shot on goal. So not as strong as a power play as we would like to see. We saw some really big attack by specifically one man on the Lincoln Stars team.
Well, and he's clearly the straw that stirs the drink for Lincoln. I mean, he's head and shoulders above most of the other players that they've got on their roster. And he's a tough guy to stop. He skates real well. He's got that hard shot. He's got good sense of the ice and has been able to create a lot of opportunities for his team. But he can't play the whole game. And so the Mavericks have to make sure that they keep an eye on when he's out there and continue to grind with their other lines.
The Beast doing a phenomenal job, makes his way back to his spot between the pipes. The Bear and Fleming on defense. The power play unit is Heater, Allers, and Braden Sturba.
46 more seconds of power play time.
46. They haven't set the clock.
Yep.
Clock's still not running. There we go. There we go. Fresh 12 minutes goes on the clock. Sturba tries to feed the middle. Heater almost, but it bounces over his tape. Allers tries to keep it in. No! Stick handle. Here comes the dangerous man for Lincoln. Forced to the corner. Shorthand, they let him walk in and score. Nobody attacked him. They were short. They were on the power play. Why did we back off? They were playing like they were shorthanded. Nobody attacked him. That's his hat trick for the game. He puts the Lincoln Stars up 4-3.
Shorthanded goal.
A shorthanded goal. We outnumbered players on the ice and we still were playing on our heels. Heater, Allers, Sturba on offense still for this power play unit that will remain for 26 seconds. The Bear picks it up in his own zone. Sauces it up to Allers. He bounces over his stick. Lincoln tries to fire it back in hard.
Offside will be called there. His team hadn't cleared the zone.
11:28 left in the game. Omaha's down for the first time this game, 4-3 now. 14 seconds left in this power play. We'll start over at center ice. Somebodying moves it ahead slightly, but then Lincoln takes over. Nice poke check by Fleming, but Lincoln fires it in deep. The Bear picks it up and circles behind his own net. The Bear gaining speed, gets held, but no call. Grabbed the back of his jersey, slowed him down. Bear forced to dump and chase. Heater trying to forecheck. Lincoln goes back and forth behind their own, comes out to the blue line. Bear keeps it in momentarily, but then Lincoln fires it in for an offsides. Penalty has expired. We're 5-on-5 hockey. The icing will bring it down to Lincoln territory. Fresh legs come out for both teams. Taz, Jack Davis, T-square, the T-line. Or no, it's not a T-line anymore. Jack Davis now.
First time the Junior Mavericks have trailed in this game today. Trying to get
Jack
it back
wins
to
his
even.
own face-off, crashes the net, gets hammered into the post, jostles the net. Here's T-square, stick handling in the corner, tries to backhand it towards the middle, gets pushed back behind. Taz from behind, tries to feed the middle, gets pushed away. Lincoln fires it out to the neutral zone. Boss, cross to Ike. Ike, cross-ice pass, tries to find Davis, but that goes loose into Lincoln territory. Lincoln picks up behind their own net, brings it around the short wall. Ike's there to pick it up, feed it back in deep. Jack Davis, going to be the first one in the corner to it, gets bullied off by Lincoln. Here comes T-square to help. T-square all alone from the dot, fires, big goalie save, and they cover up and freeze the play. 10-13 left in the game. 4-3, Lincoln now in this lead.
Need more shots on goal. More shots, make that goaltender make the save. Maybe you get some rebound chances if you can get to the net.
68 for Lincoln coming back out. How many minutes of this last 10 minutes do you think 68 will see?
They'll be playing a lot. They'll be playing a lot.
Fleming and Nandor on defense. On neutral face-off, goes back behind. Lincoln picks it up, brings it around the short wall. Nandy fires it back towards the net, stopped by defense. Hits a skate on its way back out to the neutral zone. Fleming, cross ice. Schneider picks it up, gets it in the zone. Soft touch towards the middle, but here comes Lincoln again. Nice turnover. Pitchfork towards the net, goes wide. Schneider and Courtright. Courtright took a big shoulder and goes backwards. That one's going to be roughing. What's the call? Courtright drew the penalty. A big man trucked him there. I'm guessing maybe a roughing, but it looked like a clean hit. Courtright bounced back up quickly.
This referee is not great with
cross check. He's calling a cross check. I didn't see the cross check in there. Courtright got the penalty drawn, so way to go, Courtright. Mavs not faring well on the power play, though. Need to recover from what they just had. Allers, Jack Davis, Vinny Heater out there on offense, Sturba and Fleming on defense. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the Bear, not Jack Davis. So the Bear and Fleming on defense. Allers, Heater, Sturba on offense. Puck goes behind the net. Lincoln picks it up, brings it around the corner. Bear keeps it in at the blue line, but here comes the dangerous player for Lincoln once again. Heater on his heels. Nice poke check for a moment, but he's still in control. Skates around two, tries to feed the middle, but too saucy and goes past everybody. Mavericks trying to get it out of the zone. Lincoln keeps it in. The Bear picks it up behind his own. He's got an attacker. He'll ring it around behind his own. Fleming's there to pick it up. Fleming, cross ice. Allers can't quite reach it. That one goes loose into Lincoln's territory. Lincoln in a battle with Heater. Heater behind the net. Nice change of direction. Feeds it back to Bear. Blue line. Fires. Blocked by a Lincoln defenseman. Comes over to the other blue line. Will Fleming will feed it all the way in around the board. Heater in the corner. Allers to help. Behind the net, Sturba. Puck behind the net, trying to get it to the middle. Comes out front. No, Sturba from his knees, still trying to feed the middle. Lincoln will pick it up behind. Bring it around the short wall. Bear moves ahead, keeps the puck in the zone. Bear now behind the net, tries to feed the middle. Loose puck out front. Sturba almost had the rebound attempt. Lincoln bats it to the wall. Lincoln now in control. 7 seconds left in the penalty. The dangerous man
stay with him.
Gaining the zone again. Fleming picks it up behind. Now gaining the whole neutral zone, gaining speed through the neutral zone. Fleming crisscrosses, lots of defenders, fires, big save by Lincoln. Comes back out. Here comes Heater. Fires, or T-squared. Big shot goes wide. Allers picks up the rebound, bats it towards the net. That one swallowed up and frozen by the Tendy. 4-3. Lincoln in the lead. 7:52 left in the game. Nice pressure by the Mavericks.
Man, there's that whole notion in hockey. You take away a guy's time and space and you take away his skill. When we've been able to close in on their big player, he hasn't been able to do the things that have gotten him a hat trick. So they've got it when he's out there, be conscious of that and just continue to oh, no, we're still playing. We had an errant horn.
Bounces out of the zone. Taz has got a man mean mugging him. That's their big guy. But he keeps the puck. Oh, almost moving forward. Comes out to the blue line. They feed it back to the corner. T-squared in a battle with the big man for Lincoln. Comes loosely over to the Tendy. Tendy didn't intend to freeze it. He trapped it for a moment, and that's all the referee saw.
When you put your hand down on the puck, the referee is going to go for that whistle right away to protect the goaltenders from getting hacked and whacked. And if you let it go, you're going to get the whistle anyway. So a good offensive zone face-off opportunity.
Stonebreaker back to his point. I believe that's the boss. Taz, a shot from the dot. That one bounced off the pads. Stonebreaker takes the body but keeps the puck in deep. Puck in the corner with Lincoln. Stonebreaker comes in, keeps the momentum going deep behind the goal line. Lincoln tries to feed it from behind their net. Turned over by T-squared. T-squared powers to the net and shoots just wide. Ike, top of the circle, tries to toe drag out. Stonebreaker gets the loose one in the slot, but batted to the wall. Lincoln fires one, a foot race back in Omaha territory. That should be an icing, and it is. Stopping the play with 6:58 left in the game. 4-3. Lincoln still in this lead. There's going to be quick line changes the rest of this game. You've got some tired boys out there, and they're going to keep the freshest legs on the ice the entire game. Out comes Courtwright. Out comes Jack Davis. Out comes Paxton Schneider on offense. Keeney, probably the Bear on defense. Back to Bear off the face-off. Fires into the goalie. Big save. Loose puck back to the corner. Lincoln rings it back behind their own net. Courtwright first one to it on the short wall. Pushes it back to Keeney. Keeney over to the Bear. Bear, top of the circle. Fires. Bounces off some defensemen. Trickles back to the dot. Courtwright trying to keep it in, and Lincoln chips it out. Lincoln bullying their way through the neutral zone. A shot off of some legs goes to the corner. Bear bodying a boy in the corner there to try and prevent it from going to the middle. Courtwright steps up. He bullies his man, but the puck comes back to the blue line. A shot! Big blocker save right at the head of Beast. Rings around back to the blue line. Lincoln able to keep it in deep. Jack on the chase, bullies his man off the puck, needs to keep his stick down, pushes his man down to the ground, no call, even though that was quite the butcher attack. Allers tries to go cross ice to Courtwright, intercepted by Lincoln, stalled out momentarily at the neutral zone. Bear comes in to get it, pinches it up and out of the zone. Courtwright can't stick handle past the big man. Bear caught a little bit forward there. A little battle along the blue line. Courtwright trying to stick it ahead. Lincoln gains zone for a moment. Keeney now trying to get it through some skates. Can't. Turned over by the dangerous Lincoln player. Trying to pitchfork it to the middle through everybody's stick and skates. Back into the corner. Keeney, nice shoulder. Four-man battle in the corner. Comes out to Lincoln, fires, big beast save, and Bear will bounce it off the boards and get it out of the zone. Heater on the attack. Lincoln gets it. Bounces it off the neutral zone wall. Keeney trying to keep the momentum going the other way, but they can't. Lincoln pushes it gently into the zone. Bear, pop fly out to Heater. Heater can't handle it. Sturba keeps it going deep. That one should be an ice, and yes, it is. 4:53 left in the game. 4-3, Lincoln in the lead. Lincoln's got Mavs on their heels a little bit here in this last shift.
Well, and the Mavericks need to be a little bit crisper coming out of their own zone. They need to make some passes, and they need to keep their feet moving. Zone exits are going to be really important.
It's a big face-off win, and it goes back to Lincoln. Comes out of the zone. Nice attack by Heater. Stirring it up along the neutral zone wall, kicks it into the zone, trying to forecheck, but Lincoln's able to regain control, pass it ahead.
Offside.
Nice job by Nandor to stir it up from entering the zone. Lincoln gets control in the neutral zone. Poke checked away. Heater gets it. 2-on-1. Top of the circle. Oh,
he
the
hit the
crossbar. A shot from the top of the circle, and Heater wrung it off the crossbar and up into the netting. Stopping the clock at 4:25 left in the game.
Vinny bidding for his second of the afternoon. He scored the Junior Mavs' first goal of this game.
Allers T-square Taz out there. Lincoln gets the face-off draw, and they pitchfork it deep into Mavericks territory. Fleming, full speed, picks it up on the short wall. Circles behind his own net. Cross-ice pass, couldn't be handled. That one's going to come down, but the foot race is won by Taz. No icing. Taz got there first. Pitched back to Nandor at the blue line. Allers picks it up on the short wall. Soft toss towards the net. And the goalie was able to track it and freeze it right as it hit the ice. That was a dangerous save to make because it bounced right at his feet.
Yeah.
And he was able to glove it. So kudos to the Lincoln Tendy there, stopping the clock right exactly at 4 minutes left in this game. T-square. Taz. Allers will remain on the ice with Ike and the boss on defense. Face off in Lincoln territory. Oh, kind of a neutral win there. Some back and forth. T-squared hurries to it. Backhands it. That one goes across the crease into the corner. Lincoln trying to work it up the short wall. Allers bouncing around the corner. Shot comes ringing back out to him. Loose puck out to the top of the circle. And here comes Lincoln through the neutral zone. Boss stirs it up, turns it back over. T-square picks it up on his blue line. A 3-on-2. They stay on sides. T-squared sauce across the crease. That one goes to the short wall. Taz tries to push it towards the middle. Gets a second chance. It goes batted back to Wyatt Ike. Ike over to Allers. Allers backhand. Goalie save. Still open. And the poke gets covered up by the Tendy. Allers getting bullied by three guys.
Yeah, two big tree trunks on either side of him.
See who it is. So those boys will get their line change. And Courtright, Stoney, Paxson come out. Keeney and the Bear on defense. Lincoln gets the draw. And the breakaway for Lincoln. Can Paxton Snyder keep up? Shot goes wide by Lincoln, comes all the way back out of the zone. 3 minutes now left in the game. Pass ahead. Lincoln gains the zone. Shot. Big save on the blocker by the Beast. Bear rings it around the boards, tries to get to Heater. Lincoln keeps it in again. Lincoln in Omaha's corner. Keeney trying to body him, creates a turnover. The boss picks, a big punch to the side of the head by Lincoln on Stonebreaker. Shot on goal, saved by the Beast. Sturba tries to bounce it up to Heater. Heater tries to get it out, can't. Loose puck in the circle. Lincoln feeds the blue line. Lincoln shot, scores. That's his fourth goal of the game.
This kid was apparently one of the last guys cut from a mastery team. So we can see why he got even a look at a mastery program. He's a heck of a player. And that was a top shelf shot. I think all four of his goals have come just under the crossbar.
4 of the 5 goals by this one player
One guy.
for Lincoln. 2:28 left in the game, 5-3. Now Lincoln enhances their lead. Win by Mavs. Poked ahead by Nandor. Tied up on the boards by Sturba. Jack Davis working it up the wall. Lincoln pokes it out of the zone. Nandor pushes it over. A breakaway. Lincoln all alone. Shot gets whiffed.
Great back check by
Good
Fleming.
job by Fleming to break up that breakaway chance. Nice push ahead by Fleming. Almost got Sturba on the breakaway the other way, but Lincoln turned it over. Sturba on the forecheck.
Oh.
Jack Davis misses his hit. Lincoln rings it around the boards. Fleming, Heater pinches. Fleming fires off of an elbow of the big man. Here comes Nandor to pinch, can't quite keep it in. Here comes Fleming and Nandor and Heater back to save. Heater sends it back in. Icing is brushed off. Lincoln picks it up in their own corner. Tries to fire it out, hits a player, stalls out for a moment in their end, and then gets passed out of the zone. Fleming got an attacker, pushes it up the boards to Heater. Heater bats it up the wall and out of the zone. Lincoln picks it up, sauces it cross ice. Mavericks regroup in their own end again. Nandor circles, board pass up into the neutral zone. Cross ice on the line change. Here comes Taz, batted off of his tape. Fleming's gonna help him. Pop fly up to T squared, just out of reach of T squared. Lincoln feeds it back behind their own net, circles up the short wall. There's the battle on the short wall with Wyatt Tremaine, comes out with it, tries to feed it, deflect off a skate. Fleming at the blue line, fires! And a big goalie save. Stops the clock with 44 seconds left in the game. 2-point lead for the Lincoln Stars in the third place game.
Now, one thing I've noticed as this game has gone along, Lincoln's goaltender has made some really good saves. He didn't start out maybe in the best footing, but he's gotten better as the game has gone along, and that's been a big reason why they've been able to hold the Junior Mavericks to 3 goals.
You're absolutely right. The one strong attacker for their team and a one strong goaltender is what's made this a game for the Lincoln Stars. A pop fly out of the zone by the Lincoln Stars off the face-off. We've got an empty net for the Omaha Mavericks. 6 men out. A nice pass ahead to T-Squared. T-Squared tries to stick handle off the boards, getting tied up. Becky and T-Squared keep it in. T-Squared from the dot. Fires right off the mask. Goes for his rebound off the side of the net. Gets stick back behind. Still muscling for it. Taz behind the net. T-Squared
In front.
tries the pop-up off the back of the goalie. This one's still stranded on the side of the net. Allers tries to feed the middle. Backhand from T-Squared just goes wide. Taz feeds the middle. Rebound out front. Lincoln with it. Loose puck comes bobbling out, and there's the horn. Lincoln secures the final third place spot with a 5-3 victory over the Omaha Mavericks. I think Mavericks played their game. They spent a lot of time on attack, and the goaltender kept the Lincoln Stars in this game.
Yeah, tough ending for the Junior Mavericks, who we thought played better as each game went along in this tournament. And you always want to win the last game of the tournament, whether you're playing for first place or third place or even 5th place. You want to leave with a good feeling. Junior Mavericks won't have that, but certainly a lot to build on for the coaches as they take their team next week to Madison, Wisconsin.
I think a lot of improvements from the first game of the tournament to the last game of the tournament. We saw a score within the first minute of this tournament against the Omaha Mavericks, and we were ahead by 2 goals at one point in this game. And goaltending and some adjustments from the Lincoln bench really turned that game over. And really by one guy, like we saw 4 goals by one man on there. And we did a good job of shutting him down at points of the game. But man, he is just all so deadly and a standout player on that Lincoln team that really made the difference for the victory on today's game.
Yeah, no question about it. One player, a big difference maker for Lincoln, but a hard-fought effort by his mates as well. And it's a team win and a team loss. And the Junior Mavericks have, as we said, some real bright spots. And they'll get back to work. Practice tomorrow. Heck, they'll be working on skating with Coach Dilworth. They'll get in the weight room, and they'll get ready for that tournament. The Mad City Fall Classic in Madison, Wisconsin starts next Friday. And, of course, Matt and I will be there to bring it to you here if you can't make that trip out to Dairyland.
If I'm not mistaken, we play Friday morning.
I believe that's the case. We have an early game.
We have a 9 a.m. Friday morning of this week.
And I think Saturday's game is like a 7 a.m. deal.
So you're right. Mavs don't have any time to talk about what happened. They're going to go right back to work. Just like you said, we've got practice tomorrow, and there's a lot of things we did right in the last 4 games here that we've improved on. But I would say the practices that we did last week, from our friendlies to this tournament, paid off immensely. Mm-hmm. We saw a lot of good time on attack from special teams units. You know, there was a couple mistakes there that cost us dearly, especially with the one-man threat that they had, that you let your guard down for a minute with that boy, and he took full advantage of it.
Yep.
So not every team has that. And so sometimes we fare a little bit better when there's not a AAA player that's on the opposing team. And lo and behold, they had it, and that's a good wake-up call. That's a good teacher, right? You're not learning and gaining if there's not a challenge in these games. And that was the big challenge that really had to keep us on our toes. And a lot of it was purely just keep matching the feet. You mentioned it earlier, Dave. The best way to fight those attackers that have that much talent is to simply match their feet and put your stick on tape.
Yeah. Stick on puck, stick on stick, being able to disrupt those passes, those shots, and it's a very simple play, but it takes a lot of effort, and you got to give it every time you're out there. And again, it's one of those things that these boys are learning, especially those guys who are moving up into Bantams for the first time. And again, they'll continue to improve, work on it, and we'll be saying the same things next weekend, Matt, that, hey, look, the Mavericks continue to improve here in this game and in that game. And they've got, I'm just trying to check the schedule here as we talk.
We can't end our broadcast without mentioning the sponsorship opportunities that Omaha Jr Mavericks are offering here now. There's multi-level package deals for multi-different donation options here for the Omaha Jr Mavericks squad to help benefit a lot of team building and registration and tournament fees that the families and the team incur throughout the course of the season. Greatly appreciate you watching and tuning in and cheering for support. We more greatly appreciate any donation that can be provided to the team to support all the functions and all the activities and all the tournaments that we do throughout the entire hockey season. So those opportunities exist out there. Our team managers, Jesse Nor. Contact your coaches, contact your parents, shoot us a chat on the Facebook page, on the through your players, any way you can, reach out. We'll make it as easy as possible and as simple as possible for you guys to make your donations and get sponsorship mentions through the live broadcast and through koozies and flags and all sorts of fun payoffs for your donation. We appreciate that support.
One more time, the schedule for this coming weekend of the Mad City Fall Classic. Friday, October 24th, the boys will play at 9:30 against Rockford, then at 4:40 p.m. against Geneva, and then on Saturday, we're up early. They changed the time. It was at 7. Now it's at 6:30 a.m. That's the only game we have on Saturday, so we get to go to bed after that game. Go back and get some more sleep. Highland Park will be the opposition in that game, and then we'll see what happens on Sunday. So it's early. It's early, and we will be there to bring you all those games. And want to thank everybody for watching today here on YouTube.
Thank you, everyone.